All right, the planing is done, and you can see that the reference line down the center of the leading edge is still showing, and we want it to show, because if it weren't showing, the leading edge wouldn't be straight. I want you to see that this is just through planing. I put a little black marker around here, but you can see that it's taken on what looks like a pretty normal looking nose on an airfoil or on a rib. The other thing I didn't mention in the previous video is that while you plane, obviously you're using your eye to see where you're going, but the thing I didn't mention was, and I want to mention it now, is you can feel with your fingers. This will tell you an awful lot about where you are. Now the plane gets it roughed out. It's the sanding that sort of dials it in. So here's where we are. Here's the rib. Here's the nose, and I didn't show this very well, but think of each one of these as being sort of flat, 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 all the way around as it was planed. So it's roughly in the right shape right now. What we're going to do is take this sanding block, again with 60 grit, sharp, with a very light touch. We're just going to try to pick up the angle of the rib, so you can just obviously just lay it there. You see that? Just lay it on the sanding block and just do this right across the grain. And as we come, notice I'm just doing this. That's all I'm doing. Nothing special. I don't consider myself having any unusual skill at this. Well, maybe some skill, but if you're building this airplane, you've probably done this yourself many times. That's the general idea. Doesn't take a lot. Now, as I'm coming along the ribs, I'm putting almost no pressure on the ribs, because obviously we don't want to sand them down. So as I'm just coming across, that's all I'm doing. I still got my line here. Whoops, getting a little bit thin there, so means I've gone about as far as I want to go. I'll flip it over to the other side. Let's see. Holding the thing is always the issue. So again, I'm obviously using two eyes, and I'm up close. I'm wearing glasses so I can see things that probably don't show up in the video that well. Again, very light touch. I'm applying almost no pressure to this. I'm letting the block do all the cutting or shaping, and just bring it around like that. It's amazing how this just comes together. By the way, this part right here will be cut off. Once we're done, we'll just cut that off flush, but we're not done yet, so in case you're wondering about that little stub hanging off there. This is pretty much done. At least it's... By the way, forgot to tell you about this down here at the bottom. Again, all you do is just pick up the corner or the curve of the spar and just bring it right back, and these will just take on a sort of a natural shape of their own. It's all right. I'll go back and do that later. I don't want to waste your time. But this is pretty much the general idea. And then if you want, I do, just pick up the 100 grit and finish it off. I'm using a very light touch. I'm in no hurry at all. And this is just about dialed in. Well, as you can see, look, got a little bit aggressive here, but I'll clean that out and it'll be fine. That's pretty much all there is to it, and this is done. if we were to just cut this and do a cross section, you would be amazed. I think you'd be amazed at how accurately I think it's a parabolic curve on an NACA airfoil, that it just takes that shape automatically. And not automatically, you got to work at it, but I think you're pretty much done except for any final sort of finish sanding. And so we'll go from there. Thank you.